Welcome to the Melanin Jelly Project Conversations, a podcast that celebrates diversity and representation in children's storytelling, entertainment, and edutainment. I am the host, Olunosen Louisa Ivaze. On this podcast, I chat with authors and creators of children's books, entertainment, and edutainment. This is also a collaboration with the Ottawa Black Book Club. Yeah. So welcome, Jasmine Moton, the author of this lovely book, Black CRAYON. Welcome to the Melanin Jelly Project Conversations podcast. I put together this podcast because I realized that we don't have enough podcasts that celebrates diversity and representation in children's storytelling. So, and as someone who is a writer myself and passionate about putting Black voices out there, Black and I think just diverse voices out there, I decided to start this podcast. And when I put it out there, I didn't know I was going to get this kind of response.
Okay.
So welcome once again, Jasmine. Tell me about yourself. My name is Louisa Olunosen Ivaze. So tell me about yourself and what inspired you to write this lovely book.
What inspired me to write this book is back in school, I was teased because of my dark skin. I wrote this book just to inspire other young children that even though they're dark-skinned, they are still beautiful. So I wanted to get that message out to just many girls out there and also inspire women. Because when you get teased when you're younger, that stays with you. That stays with you until you grow up and you realize that the whole time you are beautiful, even though your skin is dark.
Yeah, but tell me about yourself. Like, are you a children's writer? What do you do apart from writing? Yeah.
Yes. So my name is Jasmine. I was born in Chicago. I'm currently working as a staff accountant at my current job. So the first time I actually wrote poems. I love to write poems. I wrote my first poetry book and then self-published it on Amazon. And then I also wrote my first children's book. It was a Christmas children's book. And it was just a lesson-filled children's book about just a powerful message about Christmas. And then out of nowhere, I had the idea to do another children's book about teasing and about just building self-confidence in girls.
Okay. And you know, when I started reading this book, when I started with the photos in front, these ones, you know, and then I started to read. I got to the part about the crayons. I went, oh, how sad. And children sometimes can be, do I call it the ignorance of innocence?
Yes.
When children are teased, because when we talk of skin color, historically, skin color has been political. I'm from Nigeria, you can tell from my accent. And on the African continent, skin bleaching, and in the Caribbean, skin bleaching is a big thing.
Yes.
It's a big thing. I remember when we were in uni, it was called toning. Oh, let's just tone our skin, you know, we're just taking care of our skin. Yeah, that's what it was called. How important do you think it is for authors to tell stories about colorism? Because I will call this colorism, right?
Yes.
Yeah, how important do you think it is for authors to tell these stories to children about colorism?
Yes, it is so important because I think it's a issue that America tries to cover up. And like you said, there's bleaching, there's other stuff that kids do to lighten up their skin when they do not need to lighten up their skin. Yeah. We need to be what we need to be. We need to appear how we are. We don't need to, like you said, lighten up our skin. There are many girls, dark-skinned girls, tend to take pictures more in the light because they feel like that lighter skin makes them look beautiful. That dark skin is beautiful. It's so important for us to just let our kids know ahead of time. Because like I said, it evolves into when we're adults. And when we're adults, we carry those self-esteem issues, thinking, oh, we can't do this because we're too dark. So I definitely think it's so important to instill it into a child when they're younger. than when they're older.
Yeah, and I also think that the media doesn't help much.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Because when all the Black people you see there are very light skinned, and someone was saying to me that the reason why sometimes the media prefers lighter skinned people is because the camera light works better with lighter skinned people. Mm-hmm. And I go, what kind of talk is that?
Yes.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I call myself the melanin jali. Melanin is forever. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the aging process, look at the way we age. Someone said we age in reverse.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, we age in reverse. A lot of people, what I realized when I moved to the West is a lot of people can't guess our age. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't know how old we are. So what are some of the challenges you feel that authors have when trying to tell these kind of stories of representation?
I think one of the biggest challenges is a lot of people act like it doesn't happen. A lot of people say, oh, well, light-skinned people have the same issues, or someone else have the same issues. They try to bring up a different issue to cover up this issue. Okay. And I'm basically pointing out that this is an issue. We're not going to try to cover it up, because I have watched so many colorism episodes, so many documents, that this is an issue. Many girls will tell you that.
Okay. And how do you think we can overcome this issue?
I'm sorry?
How do you think we can overcome this issue?
I think we can overcome this issue by providing books, providing guides just for little children, providing just education. There are many teachers that need to talk about colorism in the schools so that people are aware about it. Because like I said, there's still bullying and teasing going on because of colorism.
Do you think we talk about colorism enough?
No, I don't think we talk about it enough at all. I think we need to talk about it more, so that way this issue can be decreased rather than increased, and make girls feel uncomfortable, make girls lose their self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. What was your writing process like when you sat to write this book? What was your writing process like? Because I think you self-published, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was your writing process like? What worked for you? What didn't work? How did you go about marketing? How did you go about publishing?
So publishing, I had the idea, I kind of drafted it up together. Mm-hmm. I knew that I needed like an editor just to go through and make corrections on my book. Okay. I was looking at different resources. I looked at Fiverr. Fiverr is just a great website. It has many different freelance workers on there. So they do illustrations, they do editing. So I had someone edit my book. Then I also looked for illustrations. I wanted the illustrations to be really nice. So I got my illustrator, Lena Shrek, to illustrate the book. Okay. Marketing, I have made a website. I have did TikTok videos. I have went into Facebook groups to advertise. I have also reached out to a bookstore here right by me to just look at my book and see if they could sell it in their store, and they did. So I'm currently looking to other bookstores around America to have my books in their store.
Okay. How do you think that as writers of diverse stories, we can support each other?
I feel like we can just buy each other books. We can promote our books along with other diverse authors.
Okay. Would you like to read your book to us?
Yes.
Because I realized that hearing a book being read by the author is very different. Because because you are the writer and you know the tone. If I read this book, if I start with Black Crayon, Midnight Darkness, Charcoal, of all the names the other kids called me, Black Crayon was the one that stuck the most. It hits different.
Yeah.
So read the book to us, please.
Okay. Black Crayon, written by myself. Black crayon, midnight, darkness, charcoal. Of all the names the others called me, black crayon was the one that stuck out the most. They held a black crayon against my black skin and laughed. You're blacker than the blackest of black. So I began to hide the black crayons whenever it was time for arts and crafts. The teacher told the other kids to be nice, but as soon as she turned her back, they will whisper to me, "Do you know that you're darker than night?" My mother would always say, "Ignore them and just be who you are." But it wasn't easy when they called me black crayon all day long. How could I ignore the people around me when they tell me my skin color is wrong? Everyone liked green because of the beautiful trees. Everyone liked blue because it looked like the sea. Everyone liked yellow because of the sunflowers that grew free. But no one liked the black crayon that looked just like me. You look like a shadow, the other kids would say, and that is why they didn't invite me to play. We can't see you, they would tease me on another day. I always knew that my skin wasn't right. It didn't matter if I was pink or if I wore pink or white. Whenever the other kids touched my skin, they would get a fright. You are beautiful and special, my mom would say. I did not believe her, so I would shake my head and ask, what is beautiful about being this way? No matter what anyone else said, and no matter how hard I tried, nothing changed the fact that my skin stayed black, so I cried and cried and cried. Everyone liked green because of the beautiful trees. Everyone liked blue because it looked like the sea. Everyone liked yellow because of the sunflowers that grew free. But no one liked the black crayon that looked just like me. I learned to hide my feelings and pretend nothing bothered me at all. But deep down inside, it hurt every time someone said something mean when they walked past me in the hall. Every time I saw my reflection, my heart got sad. My black skin was ugly and made me feel bad. I knew I would never look like everyone else, and I didn't know what to do. Dad said, ignore them. You are beautiful, but it never seemed true. Then why does everyone hate me at school? Maybe it's because you're just too cool. But Dad, those jokes are cruel. He gave me a hug and whispered in my ear, ignore the hate and it will have no power over you. Always remember this golden rule. And then one day at the grocery store with my mom, a beautiful girl with blonde hair and the brightest blue eyes pointed at me and began to cry. I looked down at my hands as tears welled up in my eyes and released a tired sigh. My black skin was bad and I would never know why. My mother held my hand and we turned to leave, when suddenly the little girl screamed, Mommy, Mommy, I want my skin to look like hers, please. I whipped around and said to her, trust me, you don't want to look like me. But black is the most beautiful color, don't you agree? Her words were comforting because she didn't look like me. But deep down, I could not believe what she said because of the hurtful words living in my memory. But still, everyone liked green because of the beautiful trees. Everyone liked blue because it looked like the sea. Everyone liked yellow because of the sunflowers that grew free. But no one liked the black crayon that looked just like me. Is black really beautiful? I wondered as I watched the other girls play at the park. The most beautiful lady my eyes had ever seen sat next to me with black glowing skin. Her skin glistened under the light of the day. Do you know why black is special? She asked me. Tell me please. Black is special because it is not a color, but a combination of all colors. Really? Yes. So your black skin is unique. That's why it's special. It is what makes you stand out from the crowd. So I'm not ugly? The lady smiled. You are very beautiful and very special, exactly as you are. When I went back to school the next day, the beautiful lady from the park walked into my classroom. Good morning, kids. I'm here to teach you all about art. All the other kids stared at the lady in awe and then began to whisper to each other. She's so beautiful. I want to be like her. Is she an angel? The lady picked up the box of crayons and asked the class, "How come nobody uses the black ones?" "Because it's ugly," one of the boys shouted. "Oh no, boys and girls, that is simply not true. Black is the most special color of them all because it makes everything beautiful." "But how? It's so dark," another girl asked. "Well, let me ask you, do you see the dazzling stars in the sky during the day?" "No," the class answered. "You see, kids, black is special because it allows the other colors to shine." I was sitting alone at recess like I did every day when suddenly the other kids approached me and invited me to play. We ran around and played the game of pretend, and at the end of the day, everyone wanted to be my friend. When I got home later that day, I ran to my mother. I had so much to say. I needed to tell her all the wonderful things that happened today. Black is special, I know that now. Everyone liked green because of the beautiful trees. Everyone liked blue because it looked like the sea. Everyone liked yellow because of the sunflowers that grew fruit. And I like the black crayon because it looks just like me.
Wow, lovely story. You know, when you spoke about the stars here, I'm actually working on a book about a girl who is really, really dark skinned, and her name is actually Star Vanilla.
Oh.
Yes, and the reason why her name is Star is because I thought of the stars, and Vanilla as a last name because the true color of vanilla is actually black.
Wow.
Go Google it. Yes, when I found that out, I was very surprised. Take a look at the vanilla farmers of Uganda and vanilla farmers of Madagascar. Vanilla is actually black in color.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you tell people I'm the color of vanilla, they go, huh? Vanilla is black.
Wow. That's interesting to know.
Yes. So here where you said, but Dad, let me see. Then why does everyone hate me at school? Maybe it's because you're just too cool. But Dad, their jokes are cruel. He gave me a hug and whispered in my ear, "Ignore the hate and it will have no power over you. Always remember this golden rule." That's a very powerful sentence there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ignore the hate and it will have no power over you. Mm-hmm. Always remember this golden rule. You know how people say what you feed is what grows? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I remember, I don't know if you remember the doll experiment. Was it done in the 70s or the 60s? Where kids were showed different colors of dolls and they were asked, do you think is the good doll? They picked the white doll. Which do you think is the bad doll? They picked the dark doll. Which do you think is the doll that is most likely to get into trouble? They picked the dark doll. Mm-hmm. And then we all grew up with Barbies, you know?
Yes.
Hair, blue eyes. Yeah. What do you think as parents we can do to help our children be more accepting of who they are and what they look like? What do you think parents can do?
I think parents can encourage kids that their looks, even if they look a certain way, that they are still special. They still can do whatever they want to do in this world. Because I think a lot of kids just get held back by just having self-esteem issues.
Okay. Do you think schools and entertainment too has a role to play?
Oh yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. What role do you think schools and entertainment have to play in self-acceptance? Yes,
it's because, like you said, they portray a special way, a certain way that people need to look like. And everyone looks at that person and admires that person and wants to be like that person. But school basically just needs to teach us that it's okay to look anyway. It's okay. We don't have to admire that, that celebrity or that person, because people can look different ways.
Okay. I think it's also, for me, when I think of children's entertainment, I think it would also help if Disney princesses keep getting darker.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Little Mermaid, the new one, I haven't seen it yet, but I like the fact that the girl is black.
Yes, me too.
Yes, a lot of people were not really happy about that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of backlash on social media and people saying a lot of negative things. But I feel because when we were growing up, the Snow Whites, the Rapunzels, the Sleeping Beauties, they were all white.
Yes.
The only difference was that they had different color, hair color was different, and maybe sometimes the color of their eyes. But I think that if we started seeing more Disney, I think The Princess and the Frog, I think that was the first dark Disney princess we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think if we start having more, we start having dark Disney princesses, I think it will help children. And also when you look at clay also, because I also write books for kids, I'll show you, I'll show you my books. So what I did was, I have Crowning Glory, which is actually a celebration of the history of African hair tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm talking of different African hairstyles.
Oh, wow.
And how they are an inspiration for the hairstyles we have in the world today. And then I have the African Safari, which actually talks about Africa's indigenous animals, because a lot of people don't know that tigers and kangaroos are not indigenous to the African continent. Mm-hmm. They don't know. And then I have, because I feel that for positivity, I have these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anytime I show people this, they go, oh, wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I just felt that, you know what better way than to have a doll with her braids, yes, then her skin color, and then we don't have enough boy dolls.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel we don't have enough boy dolls. So and then I was very, very particular about his hair texture, because I told them I needed something that is a true representation or close enough African hair. And it's so interesting that in producing this, even to get the hair was a problem. I kept getting sent different hair samples. Oh, can we use this? Can we use that? I said, no, not curly hair, kinky hair, African hair is what, I want. Yeah. So I think it's very, very, I think it's very important. What do you think teachers can do? Teachers, school club, because going to this book, I'm looking at recess. And at least at recess, the other children finally asked her to play with her. But to think that there had been so many other recesses and other children did not play with her, and teachers did not notice. What do you think what do you think teachers can do? How do you think teachers can help?
I think teachers can just talk to students. Ask them questions. If they see one kid not playing with the others, they can go to the student and just have a conversation with them. And they can also have conversations with the other students.
Okay.
I definitely think that will help. Okay.
So what do you hope to see for your book? Yeah, because I was looking at it and the format is unique. Because most children's books you would have like these 2 pages where you have the text. Most children's books will have this text maybe at the top or at the bottom, and then they will have illustrations right across. But yours is very different. It has text and then
pictures.
Yeah. So what do you hope to see for your book? Where would you like to see your book go? What would you like to see your book do?
I would like to see my book in bookstores around America. I really want for my book just to even be taught. It can be taught in schools. When you talk about colorism, this is definitely could be one of the choices of children's book for colorism that teachers can read to their kids.
Yeah. How would you define colorism?
Colorism is someone that is being portrayed as having a darker skin. Someone that, and a lot of times colorism is someone performing just negative connotations toward a person of a darker skin.
Okay. So if people want to buy your books, where can they find your books to buy?
They can find my books on Amazon, and they can also find my books on Smashword. It's a website. And like I said, I'm working on this being in bookstores across America.
Okay. And are you working on anything new? Do you have any new projects you're working on?
I currently have ideas about another children's book in the making.
Okay.
So they should see that come out maybe this year or next year. I'm still in the process of just marketing this. And also I will be at the Chicago's Book Fair in August. That's the Soulful Chicago Book Festival in August.
Are you on Instagram? Because I tried to find you on Instagram. I couldn't find you.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram. I'm just on Facebook. And then I have a website, Jasmine.ward16 website. I have a website on there.
Okay, because I know that Instagram now, a lot of people, I don't know. I think I'm noticing a steady migration from Facebook to Instagram in regards to social media activities. Yeah. Okay, because I tried to find you this morning to follow you. So I think I'm going to use my auto page to find you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use my auto page to find you. Okay. I just want to say a very big thank you to you for making out time to chat with me this morning. Thank you for your generosity and for sending this lovely book to me. Yeah, I'm going to add it to my enchanted bookshelf. There.
Yay!
The books there just keep growing. So so kindly follow our YouTube channel. New episodes air first in every Fridays.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much for reading my book and giving me this opportunity. I really am just happy. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.